Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Rosie's View. I know we haven't done this in a while, so I might be a bit out of it for it, so hopefully that doesn't really influence anything. Hopefully, I can still create a good episode for you guys because I've been kind of thinking about this topic for a while now. And I mean, it is something I need to address. Somebody actually asked me for this. This was a suggestion. Because I hadn't done Rosie's View in a while. I was having just, I guess, recording anxiety when it came to Rosie's View because this is kind of a personal series. I don't know, and I didn't want to make it feel like a burden. So I don't know if Rosie's View is going to be a weekly thing anymore. It might just be a every so often whenever I feel like it's like I have something good to talk about and something I can actually think through. And so somebody on Twitter asked me to talk about self-image. Now, this is something I actually had thought about talking about before, but I hadn't actually, I wanted to wait until I felt like the time was right for me to talk about it. So, I will get into it, but first, I wanted to show you guys where we are, because we always do something interesting on Rosie's View. Or not interesting, just a little thing that we do on the Havoc. So, where am I? I'm in the jungle. Yep, we're in the jungle. So I need to collect some things for my shops from the jungle. So I will just be doing that while we talk. Yeah, this might be a bit of a shorter episode, also, by the way. So be prepared for that. And it's getting dark. Shit. Okay. Well. Oh. Well. Anyway. So I got some things I kind of already started out, but I need the cocoa beans for my clay shop because the brown stained clay, I don't know if people are going to use it often, but I still want to stock it. I have this also, leather. I killed some cows along the way, so I can have leather in my shop. I might find a desert on the way back. I think we might even travel back during our little talk. But yeah, so self-image. It's a very good thing for me to talk about right now specifically because I have auditions tomorrow for the musical, and I struggle with my self-image a lot, especially during auditions because I think I have to think about how there are so many other people who are better than me for the part, how there are people who I know will be my great competition, and things like that. And so I have to worry about my own self-image and how I view myself personally during auditions. So I have the first day of auditions tomorrow, so I felt like, and this is being recorded on Tuesday, so I felt like it was a good time to address the topic because it'll help me out too to get a better perspective, I guess, of myself while talking it out through you guys. So, self-image, it's something that a lot of people struggle with, a lot more people than you'd think. We have people everywhere, all over the world, who struggle with self-image. Some people may have worse things on their mind, like poverty and disease and hunger, but also they will worry about how the world views them, though probably a lot less. And I won't speak for them, they have their own voices, but there are everybody, even as far back as the first humans, I'm sure, suffered with self-image and dealing with how we view ourselves. Because, to be honest, most people don't have a very good self-view. They will always be able to find flaws that aren't there. You know, you see yourself a lot different than how other people see you. What you see when you look in the mirror is very different. And it really just depends on how you perceive yourself. So I might look in the mirror and see a very ugly girl with self-esteem issues who has a ginormous nose. That's what I struggle with the most, self-esteem-wise. And other people might look and say, oh, she has a cute little petite nose, and she's adorable. I don't know. People, they will see you very differently. That has been proved by psychology. How you describe yourself to people, they will assume you are completely different than what you actually look like, because who you are in person is a lot different than what you see when you look into a mirror on a day-to-day basis. So that's true for everybody. Ooh, crap. Thought I was going to be able to find it. Ugh. I'm going to have difficulties with this. Hi. I didn't think this through. Hi. So, I personally, as I've just mentioned, I struggle the most with my nose. And I'm going to address something real quickly, and this is something that I have thought about for addressing for this video, and that is why I haven't done a face reveal, and that is partly to do with my self-image, how I view myself. I amazingly have not gotten a single hate comment yet. I haven't had a single person say that they dislike me, they dislike my videos, things like that. I mean, in real life, of course, I've had people say things like they don't like me as a person. I've been called every name in the book, though some of them, they don't have, like, reasons to call me. Like, if they call me a slut, that's obviously not true, because I'm, like, the furthest thing from a slut. But, like, I have been called every name in the book, and I'm used to it. But on YouTube, I have not been called anything. I do not have a bad reputation on YouTube. And the reason why I don't want to do a face reveal anytime soon, as I said, until I get 1,000 subs, really it's until I am comfortable with the amount of rosebuds I have, and I feel like I would have enough people supporting me if I were to get a hate comment. And I know if I have somebody saying, oh, you're ugly, or something, and they don't know what I look like, it won't actually hurt, because, hey, they don't know what I look like. They could have completely false facts. And so if they're saying I'm ugly, it's just them wanting to say bad things. They don't know what I look like. They have no reason to call me ugly, except for they just want to feel better about themselves. And so that won't get to me, and it won't hurt as much. And so the reason why I say I want to wait until I have more rosebuds, or enough rosebuds to defend me and things like that, is because I know those things will happen even after I have done my face reveal. And if I have rosebuds there, that I know I have enough that they will be able to defend me, and there will be nothing that will let it get to me, then I will feel comfortable enough with putting myself out there like that. And saying, hey, this is who I am, this is what I look like. You guys know who I am. Who I am inside is completely different from who I am outside. Just like how we see ourselves is completely different from who we really are. And so you guys know who I am. And that's really all you need to know. But for a deeper, closer connection with you guys, I will eventually one day reveal my face. But self-image, I know, it's really difficult. Sometimes we question, why are we here? What is our purpose for being here? Like, it sounds really deep and psychological and things like that, but, like, why were we here? If you're religious, why did God put you on this earth? What is your purpose for being here? What are you supposed to accomplish in your life? Everybody asks themselves these questions at least once in their life. They ask, why were they put here? And really, what I have found really helps is just to sit down in front of the mirror and have a good cry. Like, talk to yourself and figure out why you're feeling like this, what brought on these emotions and these thoughts, and figure out why you're put here, and then just sit there and tell yourself you're beautiful. Looking in the mirror will help, because you'll be able to kind of see who you are, and accept who you are, and accept the reasons why you were put here. And sure, you probably won't have the right answer at the time, depending on your age. I know the last time I had one of those talks with myself was like a year ago, and I told myself, you're going to be a writer. You're going to grow up and you're going to be a writer. You're going to publish your books. You're going to make people happy one day. I have accomplished only one of those things. I have made people happy one day. I at least hope so, that I make you guys happy every day with my videos. I could be completely wrong here. You guys could hate every one of my videos, and you could just be sitting there laughing at me the entire time. But as far as I know, I make people happy, and that is my purpose. And sure, that's not going to be my career. Um, I will keep doing YouTube as long as I can, as long as I still can make people happy. But I had a talk with myself, and this was kind of, it wasn't one of those sitting in front of the mirror talks, but I talked to myself, and I figured out, hey, I don't think writing is going to work anymore. I have had writer's block for over a year now, and sure, I have 100 and something page book that I have unfinished sitting on my computer, but I don't want to waste my time doing something if I don't enjoy it anymore, and if I'm not being successful at it. And sure, I had like 30 or so people on Facebook who all loved my books and wanted to read them and wanted me to finish them, but I wasn't finding enjoyment in writing anymore. I still can make up all the stories in my head that I want, but I can never put words to them. And I found my words through YouTube. I found my way to speak to people and to tell stories and just entertain people. And that's what I wanted to do with writing. And I found a way to do it through YouTube. And I know I wanted to go back to one of my original dreams. And so now I'm pursuing archaeology. If you don't know about that, that's study of ancient artifacts and civilizations and things like that. And it's kind of just a guesswork, but it's still fascinating, and it's something that I grew up fascinated with. As early as freaking preschool, I wanted to be an archaeologist. And so I'm going back to that. I had to reevaluate how I saw myself in the future also. And that's my own self-image. I had to perceive what I wanted to do with my life and figure it out for myself, because nobody else can really tell you what to do with your life. You've got to figure it out for yourself. And I mean, I was getting ready to go into college. I needed to have an idea, especially for transcripts and things like that. You really need to know what you're going to do with your life. But sometimes it's a lot to ask of somebody, especially at the young age that I know most of you are. Some of you could be in college for all I know already, or some people could even be sitting at home with 4 children and just chilling. But I have the Squids Are Thugs texture? Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry, this is Ricky's texture pack. But you guys could be doing whatever for all I know. But what I do know is that you've got to have a good self-image for yourself, or you're never going to succeed out in the world. And that's not saying that you're going to have the best image, but you can't sit there thinking you're a horrible person, because you're never going to succeed in life without believing in yourself. Now, this kind of goes back to auditions. I always get so nervous at auditions because I usually listen to everybody else audition. I sit there and I think, oh my gosh, they're going to get the part. They sound amazing. They're going to get the part. Why am I even auditioning? And then I just freak out and I overreact to things. Now, I've got auditions, and the part that I'm auditioning for, I am so nervous about. You don't even know. It is... the song I'm singing is like opera. It's so much belting. If you know anything about musical theater, you know what belting is. And I'm nervous, and I can picture so many other people that would be so good at the part. And I know some of them are auditioning. And that scares me, because they could very easily get the part, and I could very easily not. And I just gotta think to myself that I'm not as bad as I think. I can be as good as they could be. I gotta just stop thinking about them. And is it gonna be difficult? Yes. Can I prove that it's gonna be difficult? No. I cannot sit there and say, you're not gonna get this part. I can sit there and say, you might not, but I can't prove that I will not get the part, so I can't let it get to me. I can't let it destroy what I personally think of myself and what I have built up by practicing the audition and all this stuff. I cannot let it destroy me. If I let it destroy me, there's no chance I'm going to get that part. There's no chance I'm going to succeed with what I want to do. And I want that part so bad. But then I also got to think, I would be happy being another character. I'd be happy being in the ensemble because at least I'm a part of something. And at least I know I was good enough for them to even consider me. Consider me long enough to put me into a role. This musical that we're doing only has 20 parts in it. And that includes ensemble. So if I even get in, I will be amazed and I will just be so happy. And I will know that, hey, this philosophy works. The philosophy of thinking to yourself that you can succeed if you set your mind to it, if you give yourself a good self-image. And yeah, I know you might think you're, as I say to myself, I'm an ugly bitch, and I just bring people down all the time. I may think to myself that. And honestly, me and my boyfriend, that's what we argue the most about, is our own self-image. He'll say that he's a jerk or something, and I'll argue with him. And I'll say, no, you're not. I'll say that I'm a bitch. He'll argue with me and say, no, you're not. We argue the most about our self-image. If we both just accepted who we were, accepted, like, I can't speak. If we both just accepted every single flaw about ourselves, then we would never fight. We fight about ourselves the most. And I'm being completely honest with that. We have agreed that that is the only thing we ever fight about, is ourselves. And so, I just, it amazes me that something so small can affect so many people around the world. Imagine when we didn't have mirrors. Nobody knew what you looked like unless you looked in... Never mind. Forget I said that, okay? Because you could look in the water. I'm stupid. Just go back to your prehistoric thoughts. Go to instinct. Do you instinctually believe that you are a hideous human being and you should never walk the face of this earth because you will just disgust people with your hideousness? No. That is not what you believe by your instinct. When you were born, you did not think you were ugly. When you were born, you just thought about surviving. And sure, you didn't have a self-image of yourself, but you didn't have a bad one. You didn't think that you were horrible. You didn't think really much at all. But just really, your self-image comes from what you were first told. I know as a child, I was always told by my sister that that I was ugly, or that I can't sing, or that I was fat. I was a chubby baby, but she would just tell me all these horrible things about myself, and I believed him because of course you always believe what your big sister says, right? And so that's where I developed my self-image from, was from my sister telling me all these things my entire childhood, telling me that I was a failure, that I was never going to make it anywhere, and just all these horrible things. And I believed it, and I let it become what I thought of myself. And great, server closed. Be right back, guys. And we're back. So anyway, I let that become what I thought of myself. And I should have never done that. I adopted a self-image. So if you want to get a better self-image of yourself, think about who planted that image in your brain. Think about the kindergarten bully or whatever. And just think to yourself, where are they today? How wrong were they? Because honestly, they could be so wrong. Most likely they are. Most likely you are a beautiful human being and they have no call to say some of those things about you. But they do, because they just want to make other people hurt. This goes to bullying, and I'll address bullying in a different video, but you adopt your self-image from other people. By instinct, you would never think of yourself like that. You adopt what you think you look like based on other people's opinions. And more often you're gonna listen to bad comments than you'll listen to good comments. When it comes to good comments, if you have a bad self-view of yourself, you will tone them out. You won't believe them. And so you won't listen when they say bad things. You'll just think to yourself, oh, it's nothing. They don't really mean that. They're just saying that. Most of the time, they're being honest. Unless they're just a rude person, most of the time when somebody says something nice about you, they mean it. When somebody says something mean about you, most of the time, they don't mean it. They're just trying to be a dick. Pardon my French. But just think your instincts. If you ever are feeling like you're just the most hideous person in the world, stop and think for a second. Why do you think that? I think I'm a bitch because people have told me I'm a bitch. I think I'm ugly because people have told me I'm ugly. I think I'm stupid because people have told me I'm stupid. I think I'm a bad singer. I think I'm a bad dancer. I think I can't do anything right because people have told me that. Do I really think that about myself? No, I don't. I'm just going back to what I've heard and what I know. It's not the truth. It's just what I've heard. It's what I think. You will never believe such harsh things about yourself. Your self-view, honestly, is not your self-view. Your self-view should be exactly who you are. And that is the honest truth. Your self-view should be of a happy person. If you're depressed, it's because other people are bringing you down, or past experiences. Trust me, I'm depressed. I have depressive disorder. I know that the reason I am depressed is because of other people. It is not because of my self-view. It is because of the view they have created of myself. I can't even just imagine the person out there in the world who probably never heard a single bad thing in their mind. Sure, you gotta have some things come to reality, some things that just say, hey, stop doing this. There are some things, some lessons you've gotta learn. Sometimes what people say to you, they mean it, and they're saying it, and they're being constructive. It's not always going to be to harm you. Well, that's cool. Sometimes it's going to be to help you. But if they ever just sit there and tell you that you are a horrible human being and they have no reason behind it, then just don't believe them. Don't let things get to you. So I think I'm gonna end off this Rosie's View episode here. I hope you all enjoyed. I really do. I kind of figured out some things myself talking through it with you. I feel like I just talked in front of a mirror, like I would. I feel like I just had an intervention with myself. And I figured out some things. So I really hope you figured out some things and it wasn't just me rambling. I really hope. So, yeah. I will see you guys next time. I already have a topic for the next Rosie's View, but if you ever have a topic that you want me to talk about, don't be afraid to comment on one of my videos and say, hey, I've got a topic for Rosie's View, or to message me on Twitter. Do whatever you want. This message was from Cara Carmel, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, Cara Carmel on Twitter, and she's a sweetheart. And yeah, just you've gotta not be afraid to put yourself out there and tell me what you want me to talk about. Somebody asked me to talk about suicide. I talked about suicide, even though that was an extremely, extremely personal topic with me. I want you to get the help you need. And if I can help you, then that boosts my self image of myself. And who knows, one day maybe we'll meet in person and we'll get to just celebrate ourselves and everything that we've accomplished together. And I'm kind of rambling now, but yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye, Rosebuds.